After then see that is the visceral relations. So first we should have to see that is the superior surface of the liver. So the convex right and the left part of the surface. So here this is the right convex and this is the left convex part of the surface fit into the limb of the domes of the diaphragm. Here that is the right dome of the liver and here that is the left dome of the liver is present, and that is the central depressed part. It is for the central tendon of the diaphragm. Okay, and this part that should be divides the diaphragmatic surface of the lungs or the pleura from the liver. ठीक है. Then the anterior surface, so this one. So the anterior surface, it is related to the xiphoid process and the anterior abdominal wall in the median plane and diaphragm on each side. The falciform ligament, it is attached. So here you can see that is the falciform ligament. So it is attached to the surface little to that the right of the median plane. After then that is the right side. So it is related to the diaphragm opposite to 7 to 11th ribs and the mid axillary line. Okay. Then the posterior surface, so which is very much important, that is also called the visceral surface, this one. So the posterior surface consists of the bare area of the liver, this one. Okay. So bare area of the liver, it is a triangular area to the right of the groove for the IVC. So this one, between the two layers of the coronary and the right triangular ligament. So that is the superior coronary ligament, here inferior coronary ligament, and that is the triangular ligament. So between these three structure that the bare area is present, and this area that is not related with any visceral organ. Okay. Then the groove for IVC. So here you can see the groove for IVC, as the name indicates, the lodges the IVC. After then the caudate lobe. So here you can see this is the caudate lobe. It is related to the superior recess of the lesser sac. After then the fissure for the ligamentum venosum. So this one. So it is a deep cleft, lies in the left of the caudate lobe. So here caudate lobe, and left to it, that is this fissure is present, that is for the ligamentum venosum. Then the posterior surface of the left lobe, it is related to the abdominal part corresponding to that the oesophagus. Then after then here you can see that is the oesophageal impression, this one, the oesophageal impression. Then just lateral to it, that the deep cavity is present, this one, that is for the gastric impression for the stomach. After then on the inferior side there is presence that the fossa, it is for the gallbladder, this one. Then just lateral to it, that the small impression is present, that is for the duodenal impression. Then lateral to that the duodenal impression, there is the large area is present, that is for the renal impression, that is for the kidney. And upper to it there is the right suprarenal impression. And inferior side of the right lobe there is presence, that is the colic impression, that means the hepatic flexure of the colon. So these are the visceral relations which is mostly present on the visceral surface of the liver. So let's see the blood supply of the liver. So liver, that is supplied by the two arteries, because that is highly vascular organ, and the oxygenated blood we supply to that the liver, that is the hepatic artery, which is the branch of the colic trunk. And second artery, that is the deoxygenated blood but rich with the nutrient, that should be carried out by, or that is supplied by the portal vein. So near about 80% of the blood that should be supplied by the portal vein and the 20% of the oxygenated blood that is supplied by the hepatic artery. After then the venous drainage. So the venous drainage of the liver that should be occur by, that is the left hepatic vein, the middle hepatic vein and the right hepatic vein. Then the lymphatic drainage of the liver. So lymphatic drainage of the liver that should be occurs by the posterior mediastinal lymph nodes, then the hepatic lymph nodes and the colic lymph nodes. Then the nerve supply. The nerve supply of the liver by the both sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So sympathetic fiber that is derived from the colic plexus and that is related with the pain. And second one, that is the parasympathetic fiber that is derived from the hepatic branch of anterior vagal trunk. So these are the nerve supply of the liver. After then we should have to see, that is the microscopic structure or the histology of the liver. So this is the histology of the liver, and in the histology of the liver it consists of the hexagonal lobules, which consist of 3 to 5 corners, and each radicals that consist of the bile ductules, the branch of the portal vein and the hepatic artery. So here you can see that is the bile ductules, that is the portal venules and the hepatic arteriolar. So that should be present into that the one corner or the radical. So in this way that should be present into that the different radical, that the three structures are present. This one. Then central to that the hexagonal lobule there is presence, that is the central vein. So here you can see the central vein, and periphery to that the central vein there is presence that the hepatocytes in form of the lamina. So here you can see that is in form of the lamina, that is the hepatocytes are present, and each lamina that consists of the sinusoids. So between that the two lamina the gap is present, it is called the sinusoids. And in the other side of that is the sinusoids there is presence that in the other side of that is the sinusoids there is presence that is the bile canaliculi. So throughout this, that is the portal venule and the hepatic arteriolar, that is the blood that should be enters into the sinusoids and into that the bile canaliculi, that is the bile form into that the hexagonal lobule that should be drained into that the hepatic ductule or the bile ductule. So in this way that is the continuation of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood that should be enters throughout the portal venule and the hepatic arteriolar into that the sinusoids, where that is the nutrition is deposited into that the hepatocytes, and the remaining deoxygenated blood that should be goes into that the central vein. So in this way, and the bile which is formed into that the other side of the sinusoids that should be drained into that the bile ductule. So in this way that should be forming the bile formation and the draining and the deposition of the nutrition which is present into that the blood, and the deoxygenated blood that should be goes into that the central vein. So the portal lobule in the human being that is triangular in shape, and it should be connected, that is the three lobules, and the hepatic acinus that is the main functional unit of the liver, so it should be forming attachment to that the two lobules. So throughout this, that is from the portal vein and the hepatic artery, it should be forming that the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood rich with the nutrient, it is enters into that the sinusoids, and in the sinusoids that is the all nutrition that should be deposited, and remaining deoxygenated blood that should be enters into that the central vein. So in this way that is the drainage of the deoxygenated blood that should be occurs. Then the bile produced by the hepatocytes in first enters into the bile canaliculi. So here you can see that is the sinusoids are present, and into the other side that is the hepatic canaliculi are present. So here that is the bile it is produced, so that should be passes into the adjacent hepatocytes, and from the canaliculi it should be drained into that the hepatic ductule, or that is called the bile ductule, and then it should be drained or unite to form the larger intrahepatic duct. And in this way, that is the bile that should be drained or that should be passes into that the intrahepatic duct. So in this way, that is the functions of the liver that should be occurs histologically. Lastly, we should have to see that is the clinical or the applied anatomy. So first, that is the inflammation of the liver, that is called the hepatitis, and that the hepatitis that may be infective or that may be amoebic. Okay, then second, this in certain condition like the malnutrition, that is the liver tissue, it goes fibrosis and shrinks, and this clinical condition it is called the cirrhosis of the liver. So in this disease, that is the size of the liver that should be decreases, that means the shrinkage of the liver that should be occur, and that should be also occur due to the more consumption of the alcohol. So in this condition, the hepatocytes they are dead, and because of the size of the liver that is shrinks. So this clinical condition it is called the liver cirrhosis. Then next, that is the liver biopsy. So for this, here you can see that is the liver biopsy. It needs to be done a certain clinical condition in which how the liver biopsy that should be done. That is, it should be passes a needle into the 8th intercostal space, 8th or 9th intercostal space. So, and you can resect the content or the parenchyma of the liver, and that is sent for the histological purpose or the test. Then the common site of the metastatic tumor, it is mostly the cancer of the colon. Okay, so cancer of the colon that should be metastasis into that the liver. Then next clinical point, that is the liver, it is not normally palpated, but in condition that is called the hepatomegaly. So in this condition, that the liver can be palpated or that can be touched by your plain hand placed below to the right costal margin, and this enlargement of the liver that may be reaches to the right iliac fossa, that is in the condition of the moderate enlargement. Okay, so this is the hepatomegaly. Next clinical point, that is the liver resection. So it is done for primary and secondary tumors generally commonly. So whenever that is the tumor should be occurs into that the liver, so 80% of the liver part may be removed safely, and it can be regrow after the 6 to 12 months. Then the liver transplantation. So liver transplantation generally occurs in the liver cirrhosis patient. So liver function that should be very purely done. So in that condition, that is the segments of 5th to that the 8th segments. So here you can see that is the 5th segment and that is the 8th segment that should be resected from the donor, and it can be successfully transplanted into that the deceased person. So that is called the liver transplantation. Then the next clinical point, that is the transjugular intraparenchymal portosystemic shunt, that is called the TIPS or the TIPS, that is occurs in the portal hypertension. So in the portal hypertension, that is the balloon catheter that should be introduced from the internal jugular vein which is present into the neck region, that should be passes into the superior vena cava, into that the inferior vena cava, and through the inferior vena cava it is passes through the hepatic veins, and from the hepatic veins that should be goes into the liver tissue, and from the liver tissue that should be passes into that the portal vein branch. So in this way, that is the TIPS or transjugular intraparenchymal portosystemic shunt that should be done. After then, last point, that is the liver cirrhosis that causes the caput medusae. So caput medusae you can see in this condition, that is the network of the vein that should be occurs on the anterior abdominal wall. So this clinical condition that should be occurs in the portal hypertension or in the liver cirrhosis. So this network of vein which occurs on the anterior abdominal wall, so it is called the caput medusae. So these are the clinical condition which is related with the liver.